Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3.
Is it okay, John? John, is it? It's 3 minutes, right? Yes. How do you do this thing? No, he did not teach me. No, not on. No, he did not give me instructions.
Well, how do you work this?
Oh, then let's start.
Thank you, folks. I know everybody's pretty excited about a lot of appointments too, so I want to get the meeting started. Let's go ahead and reconvene the meeting. And to start off with Pledge of Allegiance, I'd like to invite Abdullah Fatai.
Thank you. All right. Hi, everyone. Please stand. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Go ahead.
All right. So for today's moment of silence, I'm sure many of you are aware that in April we acknowledge it as Sexual Harassment Awareness Month. And I know it's a pretty heavy topic to talk about. It's never easy to talk about, but I think it's good that we take this month to just kind of reflect on how our communities and societies are working to better treat our people and making sure that they're safe emotionally and physically. So I really want to take this moment to kind of pray for those and take a moment for those who were harmed or hurt in any of these cases, and just appreciate all the resources and availabilities that we have in our communities, and just work to foster a stronger community and make sure
Trustees unanimously voted to make the following appointment effective July 1st, 2022. Lauren Klesker, Coordinator, Special Youth Services. 5.9, the Board of Trustees took formal action with a 5-0 vote to approve the expulsions of students 2116, 2117, 2118, 2120, and 2121.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and congratulations to all the appointments. Now, I'd like to invite all of them to come out and say a few words and introduce their guests. So I'll start off with Ruben Cayeros.
Thank you. All right, so many people to thank. I wrote it down, but I won't be long. Thank you. I want to start by thanking the Board of Trustees, Board President Al-Jabbar, Mr. Matsuda, our Executive Cabinet, for believing in me and giving me this opportunity. I want to thank Anaheim High School admin team, Robert Saldivar, for his great leadership and being a great mentor to me these past few years. A big thank you to our staff, our teachers, our students, and parents. I would not be here if I did not have their support, so thank you. Last but not least, I would like to thank my family, my wife Daisy, my 2 boys, Ruben and Gabriel, my mom, my brothers and sisters. Thank you for always being there for me and supporting me in everything that I do. I love you guys.
Please stand up.
Yes, please stand up.
Mother-in-law. I just want to say that I'm truly honored and humbled by this opportunity. What I've learned about Anaheim High School these past few years is that Anaheim's a very special place. There's a lot of rich history at Anaheim. The school means a lot to the community, our staff, our students, our parents, and it means a lot to me. We plan on continuing the great progress that Anaheim has made in recent years. There's a lot of need at Anaheim, and our school needs a leader who understands these needs and is mindful of the importance of being a servant leader. I promise you that I will do my very best to be the leader that Anaheim needs. I'm excited about the future of Anaheim High School, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity. Go Anaheim. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ruben. You and I are going to be talking a lot late. Not that we're not. We always talk, but yes, more. More now, exactly. All right, next is Rafael. Come on down.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I again want to thank and echo what Ruben said in thanking the board, Mr. Matsuda, the executive cabinet for this opportunity. I've been a loyal servant to this district for the past 16 years. Before that, I served at Buena Park, and before that, I taught at Centralia, so I'm a local boy. I went to Buena Park High School. I went all the way away to Cal State Fullerton to go to school. And I returned back. I live in the community. My kids went to our schools. I am AUHSD through and through. And so it is I'm humbled and I'm honored. And I thank you so much for the privilege and the opportunity to lead Dale as we continue to grow the programs there and continue to establish our district initiatives as we move forward. And so I apologize, my family is a baseball family. And I don't know if you know what tonight is, but they promised me they are watching it on the YouTube channel. My grandson is 4, and I'm sure he's wearing his Angels hat right now, and I look forward to catching a little bit of the game with him. But again, I want you to know how humbled I am, how honored I am, and we will make you proud at Dale. Go Lancers.
Lauren Klatzker, come on down.
I'm clearly the shortest person to come up here tonight. President Jabbar, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Masuda, and Cabinet, I would like to thank you all so much for this opportunity. I began my career in Anaheim Union 18 years ago. I know this because my son was an infant, and I've reached that point in my life where I track time by how old my children are. I never thought at that time that my path would lead me to this new role, but I'm so excited to be here. I'd like to thank all of the principals, assistant principals, fellow teachers, speech and language pathologists, and psychologists that I've worked with over the years because they have helped to make me who I am. I would like to thank Carl Waddell, who unfortunately isn't here tonight, for providing insight and guidance to me over the past few years through some extremely tough cases, as well as all of my colleagues in SYS. I'd like to give a special thanks to Amy, and our outgoing director, Celeste Kruger, for allowing me to take on an extra leadership role this year, which has really helped to prepare me to take on this new role as coordinator. I'm excited just to say that. I could not have gotten to where I am today, though, without the love and support of my family. Only a few of them were able to come here tonight in person. Here with me are my husband, Danny, our middle son, Ian, and my mom and dad weren't able to join, but they did also assure me they are watching it. Our oldest son, Jake, who's a freshman at the University of Washington, also promised that he is watching it from his dorm room. I'm not sure if I believe him or not. And our youngest is away at 6th grade science camp, so I know he's not tuned in. I'd like to give a shout out to my sister, Becky, and her family who are watching, my sister-in-laws, Ilana and Lisa, who are also watching with their families at home. I'm excited to work with our new incoming SYS director, Amy Maya, and help her lead the teachers and staff in their work with students with special needs in our district. I truly have a passion for special education and for special education students, and I am so excited to help them realize their potential and to develop their unlimited you in whatever that looks like for them. So thank you all very much.
Thank you very much. Now we go into recognitions. I just wanted to go ahead and acknowledge some of the folks who are in the room with us. Grant Schuster, ASTA President. I don't know if you have Natalie Saldivar and Corey. Oh, Natalie is there. All right. And Corey Kretz? Nope, she's not here. Hilda Vasquez? Alta President? Oh, Amanda is here representing. And Jennifer Hippolito? Nope. Okay. All right. That's right. And then we got to give special recognition to Lauren Klatzker because she's also a board member at Fulton Joint Union. So. All right, now we're going to recognitions in terms of donations. Do we have the Kaufman Foundation folks here? Okay. Since they're not here, I'll still read it. Although they're unable to be here tonight, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, we would like to thank the Kaufman Foundation for their generous donation, which will help promote entrepreneurship throughout the district. So thank you very much to Kaufman Foundation. $75,000. So let's give them a big round of applause. And now we go to Kindness Matters Awards presented, and I'm going to defer this to Rita Ray. Do you want the board members down there after or before?
That would be nice, yes.
After?
Yes, after. Thank you. Good evening, President Jabbar, Board of Trustees, and Cabinet. I am privileged to present to you the spring recipients of the Kindness Matters Awards. More than 10 years ago, the district set out to recognize and show appreciation to staff, students, and community members who go above and beyond to demonstrate compassion and care for others. Tonight, we are honoring 15 people who have shown exemplary kindness. Recipients, when I call your name, would you please come forward to receive your certificate and pen and remain up front with everyone until everyone has been acknowledged. Our first recipient is Cesar Alvarez. Okay, it doesn't look like Cesar is here, but Cesar is a student in the Adult Transition or Workability Program. A Cypress High School student, Cesar is new to adult transition this year. His teacher in the program says Cesar can be a little shy, but he is an extremely kind person. She says he never fails to open and hold doors for all his peers and staff. She writes that while some people on campus seem to always be in a rush, Cesar never fails to acknowledge others or to demonstrate kindness on a daily basis. Lindsay Bolton. Lindsay couldn't be with us tonight, but Lindsay is the owner of the Good Samaritan restaurant, also known as Subs and Grubs. Lindsay's nominator writes, as a new business owner in the city of Cypress, Lindsay and her family are passionate about giving people with disabilities the opportunity to have work experience. Lindsay's mission is to raise awareness of how capable people with disabilities can be. She works with adult transition students during the day and hopes to create an evening social gathering for this population as well. When AUHSD hosted the Orange County Business Advisory Council recently, Lindsay spoke with other business owners about the benefits of working with students with disabilities. Our next recipient is Rosie Cardoza. School counselors are known for their compassion for students, but Magnolia High School counselor Rosie Cardoza goes above and beyond her job title. During senior night for the boys' basketball team, Rosie noticed that one of the boys was about to walk down the aisle alone, so she quickly jumped in and she escorted him. In addition, she was present at CIF and regular season games to show her support for the athletes. Rosie's entire paradigm is based on student support for their overall success. While doing supervision, for instance, she actively looks for students who may need extra support and then informs them of possible resources. Thank you, Rosie. Our next recipient is Lisa Freeman. Lisa is not here tonight, but Lisa is a teacher at Sycamore Junior High. Lisa Freeman's nominator says that when a Sycamore family lost their apartment and all their belongings to a fire last year, Lisa used her personal funds to shelter the family at a motel. Lisa then kept in touch with the family and did what she could to help them get back on their feet. We know there is nothing in her job description as a teacher that includes helping a family through such a crisis. This was simply an act of kindness. Our next recipient is Monica Jabral. Looks like Monica's not here. Monica is a student at Kennedy High School. She is an RSVP facilitator. That stands for Raising Student Voice and Purpose. As a member of the class of 2023, Monica takes time out of her day to help others and to support others to be the best version of themselves. Monica's peer writes that Monica is always kind and is always there for other people. Monica also participates in the Kika Club, which supports children in Guatemala. Our next recipient is Debbie Hale. I don't believe Debbie is here tonight. But according to her principal, Debbie does not abide by her contractual hours. She says she is everywhere all the time. As a teacher at Oxford Academy and Cambridge Virtual Academy, Debbie offers her students real-life opportunities. For her business and entrepreneurship classes, she organized lessons and events with companies in Los Angeles and New York. Debbie runs a pop-up shop on Oxford's campus where students run their own business. The students are able to market and sell student wear that they create in class. In Debbie's classroom, students are able to demonstrate the 5 C's through active participation in the world of business. The next recipient is Hallie Hood, right here. Until very... Serve yourself, Hallie. Until very recently, Hallie Hood was a senior administrative assistant at Catella High School. But I'm happy to say that Hallie is now part of the HR certificated team. People at Catella say we stole her, but that just means they've lost someone dear to them. Hallie's nominee is a staff member at Catella, and he writes that Hallie is an exceptional person who does more than she is required to do to ensure that all staff are taken care of. Of course, as an administrative assistant, she arranged class coverage, she assisted the administrators with whatever they needed, she set up meetings, answered questions throughout the day, but beyond that, her nominator writes, Hallie is just the nicest person all the time. Thanks for all you do, Hallie. Teresa Hahola is another person in my office. She wasn't able to be here tonight, but Teresa's nominator writes that Teresa has a servant's heart. She consistently gives of her time, energy, and kindness, and she never complains. Teresa is relatively new in her position as lead credential tech in the Human Resources Office, yet everyone can depend on her to get the job done. She puts in countless hours of her own time to ensure everything is completed and done on time. In fact, she looks ahead to see what will be needed next and is always ready for the challenge. Our next recipient is Christian Mendoza. Christian is a youth pastor at Sandals Church. Savannah principal Mike Pooley says Christian reached out to Savannah High School and asked how he could support the school's efforts. This semester, Christian and the Sandals Church are supporting the school's hot cocoa mornings. They also provide toiletries and gift bags to Savannah families. Thank you, Christian, for your generosity. Monica McHale. All right, doesn't look like she's here. But Monica is a junior at Kennedy High School. A peer of Monica's writes that she is a hard worker and she always goes beyond to help others, even if she doesn't know them. She shows others how important it is to forgive and to not hold anything against anyone. She is inspirational and a true student leader. Monica is also an RSVP facilitator, a National Honor Society representative, a California Scholastic Federation community chair, and a member of the Kika Club to support children in Guatemala. Teresa Parent. Okay, Teresa Parent is a resident substitute teacher at Loera High School. She mostly works with special education students at the school. Her nominator says Teresa connects on a personal basis with some of the most challenging students, and she does so with respect and appreciation. Teresa seems to understand their unique behavioral needs, and she addresses them with the calmest energy. While a lot of substitute teachers do the minimum, Teresa doesn't because she gets to know every kid in the class. Denise Restenpart. Denise is a volunteer leader at Seacoast Grace Church in Cyprus. Our adult transition students have been volunteering at the church through our district's workability program for about 10 years. During the last 5 years, Denise and her volunteers have reciprocated by donating classroom supplies to the workability program. They have also helped Cypress High School by giving of their time and their skills with the school's campus garden. Thank you, Denise. Our next recipient is Melly Santana Avila. Boy, the angels pulled a lot of people. That's all I can say. All right, Melly Santana Avila is a 9th grade student at Loera High School. Her nominator says Melly exceeds what it means to be a good student. She is truly a good human being. She enthusiastically gives up her time, resources, to make others feel special and acknowledged. She stays after class to help put textbooks away, and she volunteers time with the after-school club that her teacher advises. Melly is also known to bestow gifts on others. Nick Valdivia. Nick was actually nominated for the Kindness Matters Award by counselors at 3 school sites. Nick is the Parent and Financial Aid Director at California State University, Long Beach. He's a community member in the city of Cypress, and he has volunteered his time over the last 5 years for financial aid parent night presentations for Cypress, Oxford, and Kennedy High School parents. Nick does 2 presentations a year, where he helps parents navigate the financial aid process. The time he takes to assist our families is beyond his workday, and yet it's not uncommon for him to stay beyond the meeting time to answer individual questions from parents. Thank you, Nick. Raquel Villegas. Raquel's job at Anaheim High School is to make class content accessible for plurilingual students. As a bilingual instructional aide, Raquel works with students new to this country, but she goes beyond her job duties. She spends time getting to know each of them. She laughs with them, teaches them fun rhymes in English, and demonstrates compassion. Sometimes she's even the shoulder students lean on when they're struggling to adjust to a new country or a new family. Thank you, Raquel. That concludes our Kindness Matters Awards for this year. Congratulations to all of you.
All right, if I could have everybody stay up there, just back up so that the board members could line up behind you and take a picture. If we can have a little bit of attention, we have one more recipient who just arrived, so we'd like to acknowledge her. So, folks, if you could take this seat.
Thank you, Karina. Thank you, Amy.
All right, thank you, Amy. Time out. Rita, would you like to introduce her real quick?
Okay, it's Millie. I know she's a student.
Yeah. Yeah, one student came in. Oh, she's got here. Oh, go for the picture. Oh, she's here. They're going to come in the picture. Go for everybody.
Just want to recognize Millie Santana Avila. She's a 9th grade student at Loera High School.
Well, I'm going to take this special privilege. I want to recognize Rita Ray. Rita, stand up, please. I know this is, you've done this for 4 years, and I know this is going to be your last recognition. So thank you for all the work that you've done. She's retiring. So let's give her a big round of applause.
Speak up.
All right.
Yeah.
I know everybody's probably gone. So we're gonna have. Oh, okay. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and start off with the student representative report. Abdullah?
Yes, sorry, 1 second. All right, so there's a lot of things that happened in April and a little bit in March. So one very big piece of news is that the new ambassadors for the 2022-2023 school year were chosen, and they're a really good team. So I'm excited to see what they're gonna do next year and how they're gonna take on the big role. And the ambassadors also created a brand new event for the first time called a Mindfulness Saturday Academy that we held at Western for the first time ever. We got over 110 signups, and we had a bunch of different activities where they got to sing some karaoke, make these affirmation jars for themselves, arts and crafts, a lot of other things. And then we also partnered with Illumination Institute, a partner of the district, and they gave a presentation about mindfulness for students. So it was really great to see how that affected all of our students. And then at every high school, we created these testimonial videos with athletes, staff, VAPA leaders on how they practice mindfulness in their own way to show students that mindfulness is available, not just in the classic way of deep breathing, but in every way that they approach it. We had a LCAP meeting a little while ago, and students got to voice their opinions and kind of make more concrete ideas. And our next LCAP meeting is going to be coming up next week, so we're going to get to see them next week as well. We had a medieval times event district-wide. A lot of people showed up, and they really loved it. There was a theater and dance festival showcase, and all the ambassadors were there and got to cheer them on. It was really great. We got to see a lot of different showcases of theater and dance at the K-PAC, so it was really great to see students doing that. Coming up soon, we have the STEAMapalooza, where students are preparing with different examples of STEAM with their engineering, art, and different ways. The Color and Light show was just last Tuesday, where we got to honor a lot of different students in their art and 3D design and photography, so we got to see a lot of students there. The robotics team at Oxford is competing currently at the AVR and just competed at the Orange County Regional, so hopefully they do good. And Oxford and Anaheim actually both had their prom last Saturday, and many more high schools are having those, so it was a little bit of a bittersweet moment for myself. Got to have my last prom, so it was exciting. HOSA State Conference was last week during spring break, and we got a lot of wins there, so they'll be going to the national level. And then also currently right now, we have our FBLA, Future Business Leaders of America in Ontario, California. We have chapters in Cypress High School and Oxford. And actually, I'm going to be heading there after this meeting, so a little drive over to Ontario once this meeting's over. So I might have to leave a little bit early. That's fine. And then at Western, they had a thing that they call Spring Surprises, where ASB created these little opportunities for students to give free yearbooks, gift cards, new pair of headphones, and a bunch of other different wishes to other students that expressed need. And then Western also had what they call a Dancing with the Staff event, so their annual event where students and teachers paired up to deliver a phenomenal show where teams spearheaded their own educators, and they battled it out in a dance competition with their staff. And then at Anaheim, they also had a staff versus senior soccer event, which is really great to see. And then at Western, the senior Ahmed Hamoudi was selected back at the Orange League MVP. And this year was an integral part of winning CIF at Western. And Ahmed was also named the OC Register's Student Athlete of the Week. So yeah, congratulations to him. And I think that's it. Yeah.
That's it? Great job, Abdullah. You covered a lot of things. It shows that our kids are really engaged and doing a lot of work. So thank you.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to take a moment to celebrate Abdullah and Sebastian, who's our ambassador at Anaheim, and Cynthia, who's our ambassador at Loera. They joined our ed staff virtually last week to present an idea that I know you're working with Dr. Cruz to potentially take to fruition on developing a website that is created and run for students by students regarding mental health. So it was
awesome.
really,
Oh,
and their
that's
presentation, I felt like it was in a business meeting. It was just so professionally done. I mean, they all dressed to the nine. They came with a business plan. They had all the potential roadblocks or barriers, and they had solutions to potentially how to solve them. Just really well done. So I want to celebrate you, Abdul, and the team. So thank you.
Dr. Free. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you and
More to come on
congratulations.
that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
They're definitely the best dressed team. They always outperform me. All right.
Yeah, oh, I totally forgot to mention it. Our ambassador team has actually gone to a lot of different school sites, or actually all the school sites at the Anaheim Elementary School District, and presented the pledge and what opportunities they have at the district and what they have in the future. So it was really great to see a lot of different parents and students getting excited about their college career and whatnot, even at the elementary school level. So yeah.
That is awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Abdullah. And please thank the ambassadors. I know that they're one of the busiest groups I've seen at every event, so
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Okay, 8.2, we usually invite all our student speakers who are here, and I know that we have 3 student speakers, but they put in 1 card to speak. So I'm going to invite all 3 of them from Cypress High School: Hannah Pratt, Olivia Weber, and Melina Dunna.
Good evening. I'm Olivia Weber. This is Hannah Pratt, Melina Duna, and where's Emmy? This is Emmy Said. We are a student group from Cypress High School, and we're just interested in making some improvements to our student parking lot. Our purpose of speaking here today is to take some civic action and just to spread some awareness about what we think is potentially dangerous in our crosswalk in the main parking lot. As student drivers, we personally have experienced or at least witnessed some minor collisions or just some unsafe usage in the main crosswalk. And after a school-wide poll, it was determined that around 76% of our students feel that they are unsafe in the whole parking lot. So that's where you come in.
So we did like a survey for our students and asked them about their firsthand experiences in the parking lot. And one of the questions that we asked was, is there anything that you would like to see fixed in the parking lot? And one of the responses was, we need more rules in the parking lot, maybe speed limit signs or extra ways to make people slow down because it is ridiculous, quote unquote.
Good evening. My name is Hannah. So if you will look at the second page in that little packet we just passed to you, you will see the diagram of the existing parking lot as it is now, including the existing stop signs. If you look right where it says B, there's a crosswalk that runs all the way across. Directly across that letter B is that main crosswalk where we're having issues, right where that little arrow kind of points to. There is no stop sign nor a pedestrian crossing sign right there, and we have constant issues with students trying to cross there and parents or student drivers not stopping for the pedestrians in the crosswalk. We believe that people do not realize that pedestrians always have the right of way in a crosswalk, whether it is marked or unmarked. In addition to that, if you look above the letter A, there is another crosswalk that runs from the parking lot to the sidewalk. That is also unmarked, and we do have the same issue there. Normally in the mornings, we do have a security guard out there directing traffic, but her job would be eliminated if we were to fix the problem. If you will flip to the following page, we have spoken to Mr. Sean Pfeiffer, our assistant principal at Cypress High School, and our campus safety officer, and they have helped us come up with a few methods where we think could assist us in this problem. For method 1, it would be highlighting those 2 crosswalks, adding a pedestrian sign at both, and repainting the existing crosswalk a brighter color to make it more noticeable. Or another potential issue, keeping that same method for region A and eliminating the crosswalk above option B or area B and making a brand new primary crosswalk right at C where that other yellow line is. It would not only shorten the length of distance that students need to walk to cross onto the opposite side of the school, but it would eliminate students from crossing like cattle across from the school into the parking lot, which is another big issue. And we think that highlighting a second crosswalk that goes the opposite direction would help eliminate that issue.
So our purpose for coming to the board today was to protect the safety of our students. Though there have been no major traffic collisions to date, we fear the occurrence of one is inevitable. On the previous page, you will find some potential options for how to solve the issue in our parking lot. We have worked with Mr. Sean Pfeiffer, our assistant principal, and Officer Yu, our campus safety officer, and they both support our ideas. We hope solving these issues decrease the chance of any potential accidents occurring in our parking lot. We sincerely thank you for your time and consideration. Below you'll find our contact information if you have any further questions. Thank you so much.
Well, I know usually board members don't give comments, but I'm sure that everybody's burning to give comments. And I'll start off with just saying that you guys really were impressive by presenting this to us.
Thank you.
That's number one. And I'm sure that there are some budding city planners out there, especially you. You had a fantastic, oh, that's her. Okay, all right. But I want to thank you for taking this opportunity. I just saw Mike go out and give the packet to Patty, who takes care of all that. So rest assured, we're going to listen to you and take care of that for you. So
Awesome. Thank you so much.
I'm sure we have a lot of board members who want to compliment you.
Yes, just very well done. To come through like this, it's very professional. I'm sure that maybe Ms. Shimagawa helped you along the way a little bit. So when you go back to class, say hello and thank you to her for us. And we really look forward to seeing presentations like this from a lot of students, but you did an excellent job, so thank you.
And I wish to ditto what Mr. O'Brien, Mr. O'Neill said. In all the years I've been on this board, I do not recall ever having a presentation like this.
That's very nice.
And with this, it was costly, it took you time, a lot of thought had to go into it, discussion back and forth. And I don't think you'll ever forget what you did tonight as you get on through life. And I want to thank you because something good will come out of this.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And, you know, just taking the time to be so considerate of others. You know, a lot of people like, you know, kids your age, they just go on with their day. They've got their own things to think about, prom and dances and sports and whatnot. But you guys actually took the time to care about your fellow students. And if that is not the epitome of civic engagement, you know, I don't know what is. I'm so enamored with you and this process that you went through. Taking the time to care is what we hope that we can instill in you. And this just sends a brilliant message to everyone out there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And last but not least, everything that they said, as well as the fact that the four of you got together and did such an excellent job and then made the next step and came to a board meeting to present it. That is phenomenal. And I love to see that, and I'd like to see even more. So you have really made an impression on all of us. And it's funny because the parking lot's one of the newer things, but it's brand new, but there are a few problems just the same. And it's unfortunate, but I think I hear you say, you know, the parents and the students, they're going a little fast because there's nothing to stop them. And so you've identified a real problem, and thank you so much for all your work. It's phenomenal. The presentation is great. Good job, and thank you for making all the effort. We appreciate it.
We are aware that the parking lot is like brand new, but we're all four of us are seniors, and it was just getting finished as we were incoming freshmen, and then COVID hit.
Oh.
So the parking lot was not used as frequently as it would have been, and now we're all driving. We're driving ourselves to school for the first time, and we're all experiencing these issues every day.
Right. So you've experienced it, but you took the time to get together to, you know, bring a proposal, come here and tell us so we can take care of it and fix it. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I want to acknowledge, I know I've known Melina Duna since she was like 5 years old. And I know her aunt who drove her here. She is a Cypress grad. And also we served together at Cypress College. She was student body president. I was student body president before her. So I want to acknowledge a Cypress grad who came here too. So.
All right. Very good.
Bravo.
Thank you, girls, again.
All right.
Did Patty
Thank you
get a
very
copy?
much.
Did Patty get a copy?
Patty got one, yes.
Yeah, Patty got one. Yeah. All right. Reports of associations. Do we have associations coming up?
Mr. Grant Schuster.
Grant has no report. Wow.
All right. What are we applauding? Wait a
We
minute.
always enjoy them, Grant.
I would offend.
All right. Do we have any other association presidents stepping up for Amanda? Go ahead.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, Cabinet, and community. Just want to present on behalf of ALTA. Just have a few shout outs we'd like to give. First off, to our assistant principals. It is National Assistant Principals Week, and so just wanted to officially recognize that team in our district. A very hardworking group, and want to recognize their efforts, their expertise, and their care for our students in our community. I also want to just applaud a couple of events and things that have happened recently. First off, Color and Light last Tuesday night. It was just so wonderful to be in person and to see all of the artists and their work and just the pride and the awards, and so a wonderful event to be a part of. Our administrators are very busy planning the end-of-year activities, such as prom, awards ceremonies, graduation, and really just enjoying the normalcy that comes with these events in person and seeing students enjoy these events. Our teams are really working very hard, placing a high priority on the culture and climate of our campuses through systems building, through activities such as course selection, master schedule building, planning summer events, and getting ready for the next school year. It's kind of funny that we live pretty much half the school year already in the next school year, and so we're always like 2 years at once. But our teams are just really getting ready for that next step. Want to just make sure everybody knows about STEAMapalooza on April 23rd. It's a great opportunity to showcase our schools, our amazing students, our hardworking teachers, and really an opportunity for us to connect with our feeder districts, invite them to showcase all the amazing things happening, and to make those connections with our community. I also just want to acknowledge on behalf of ALTA our ambassadors as well and their work with the first ever district-wide wellness workshop. It was just very impressive to watch these young adults come up with an idea, they identified a need, and they built the workshop and planned it themselves, and just with the guidance of their advisors. And they make our schools proud, very proud. And I personally want to thank them as well. The presentations that were mentioned, the 24 Anaheim elementary schools, that's a project that I work on and worked with our ambassadors, and I am just so incredibly proud of their professionalism. And they made it on time, early, 30 minutes early to every presentation. Got such amazing feedback, and this was the first time we used our high school students, and it was a success. And so next year we will surely do it again. So Abdullah, I just want to thank you again and your team for representing yourselves well and our schools well. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. It was an honor. Thank you.
You're welcome. I just want to say, we have so much to be proud of in Anaheim Union, and our teams, our administrative teams, are just so very thrilled to be a part of it, and just want to thank you again always for the opportunity to serve our schools and our students and our communities.
Do we have anybody else? Oh, APJ, go ahead.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Matsuda, District Cabinet, AUHSD students and families, and those joining us online. My name is Natalie Saldivar, and I'm the APGA co-president. I wanted to take this time to give a special shout out to all of our assistant principals. Happy National Assistant Principal Week. We appreciate all that you do for us. Tonight, I am honored to introduce two wonderful colleagues of mine, Michelle and Diane, that will take this time to report on Orangeview Junior High School's counseling department. And I see that the principal's here too. Oh, awesome, there we go. Go ahead.
All right. Good evening, Board of Trustees, Cabinet, community members, and the audience joining us here and online. My name is Michelle Swanson, and I am currently the 7th grade counselor at Orangeview Junior High School. It is a pleasure to be here to share an inspiring story with you of a former student of mine. As a junior high school counselor, it is important to get to know our students, to help them through roadblocks, and to find a pathway to their future. Since we only have the students for 2 years, we don't often hear about their future successes. However, when a former student returns to say thank you for helping them in some significant way, it reminds me why I love my job so much. The student I will be sharing about today is a student from a number of years back. She was referred to me by a teacher who was concerned that the student may be pregnant. After checking on her, the student assured me that she was not pregnant. We talked about other things as well, since I always try to get to know my students when I meet with them. She was a very intelligent student, a very intelligent young lady with much potential, and she was earning good grades. She lived with her mom, who was a single parent, and 7 other siblings. Mom was currently pregnant with the 9th child. There was no father in the picture. A week or so later, during my follow-up visit with her, I asked her again if there was any possibility that she could be pregnant. It was now the day before winter break. The student assured me once again that the pregnancy was not possible. However, she was careful to cover herself up with a large sweatshirt every day. I sensed that she was scared to tell me the truth, so I asked her if she would agree to taking a pregnancy test just in case. She said yes. When she shared the results with me, it was positive. Later, we learned that she was approximately 5 months along at that time. I could see the fear in her eyes, and I assured her that I would help her get through this and that we would discuss her options. That is when she started to open up and explained that she had been raped on multiple occasions by a close family member. I called Child Protective Services. As we were waiting for them to arrive, I asked the student what she planned to do over the winter break. She mentioned Christmas, but was sad that they did not have any decorations, nor could they afford a tree. She did not expect that there would be any gifts either. CPS arrived, and her mother came and was informed about what was going on, and the police came to question the student. Although her mother was shocked, she was very supportive. The family member was nearby, and the police went to question him as well. During the questioning, he admitted to what he had done, and they took him into custody. I went home that evening with a heavy heart, to say the least. However, I was home for the holiday break, and I had already finished wrapping gifts for my own 2 children. But I still had a few gifts to wrap for my cats. Yes, I'm one of those that wraps gifts for my pets. Anybody else here? Okay. So, in doing so, I broke down. I began to weep because I knew that there was a family down the street that had nothing to open, and here I was wrapping gifts for my cats. So, I began making phone calls to my amazing Orangeview family. All I had to do was tell them that we had an OV family in need. That's all it took. They in turn collaborated with others from Orangeview, and before you knew it, we had collected a collection of donated items as well as money that we put into a Target gift card for the family. A day or 2 later, after getting permission, Diane and I went to the house and gave the family the gifts that we had collected during that time, including a small Christmas tree. Upon receiving the gifts, the family thanked us for helping them. Just seeing the joy on their face became the greatest Christmas present I ever received, even to date. After returning from winter break, the student and the parent let me know that they were going to go ahead with a pregnancy, so we looked at her high school options. Since the family was interested in the pregnancy minor program as well as the child development pathway at Loera, I helped them by connecting them with a person in charge of those programs. The following year, the student called me to tell me the news about the birth of her sweet, healthy baby. She thanked me again for supporting her through this difficult time and to let me know that things were going well with the program. Counselors in junior high often play a significant role by getting to know their students' stories in order to help them navigate the way forward to find success in high school and after. They need someone to model the 5 C's for them, to help them build resiliency, to remind them that even when they don't feel it, they are strong enough to go through difficulties and come out even stronger. It is a privilege to be an encourager to our future leaders and to remind them that their potential towards greatness. I especially want to thank our district for supporting counselors. Thank you very much. And I'd also like to thank you for the many resources that we have and the many programs that are offered through our district to make education possible in the most impossible of circumstances. Thank you.
Thank you very much, always, for sharing some really heartbreaking stories, but they're also motivational stories. So thank you very much to our counselors. Okay, I don't think we have CSCA. Okay, we'll move on to our presentations. We have Measure H.
Al, what about PTA? Do we have any?
Oh,
we had some PTA members here earlier.
PTA?
Oh, I guess they left. No.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, thank you, Ms. Piercy.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah, I know.
I'd seen them here. Okay.
Yeah, I think they were from Dale, so I'm glad that.
And Ball. And.
All right, so we'll go to presentation, Measure H Citizens Oversight Committee Annual Report, and my
clicker. There you go.
I'm going to help.
Well, good evening, board, Superintendent Matsuda, staff, guests. It's great to be with you guys again. It's been a little while. It's good to see all your smiling faces.
It's good to see you again.
We're going to basically do a little recap of what the Oversight Committee oversaw this past year. Very exciting, as I suspect if some of you guys got out, or maybe all of you got out to some of the different campuses. Very impressed, very pleased, as I'm sure you must be as well. It's incredible. Okay, so the following summary of the committee's activities are actually from March 2021 through February 2022. The committee met 4 times during this period and made site visits to Dale Junior High, Magnolia High School, Western High School. And it was the 4 visits were on May 13th, September 23rd, November 17th, all of 2021, and then February 16th of 2022. Basic topics of the meetings are: we received design and construction project updates for various Measure H projects. We received final cost reports for completed Measure H projects. We received and reviewed the project budgets. We received and reviewed the list of upcoming Measure H projects and preliminary budgets. And then we also received and reviewed the expenditure reports. So on May 13th, we met at Dale Junior High, and it was kind of to take a look at some of the modernization that had already been done. Amazing. I mean, I'm an alumnus of Orange View Junior High myself, wherever she is, or she left. And boy, some of the innovations they put there, like those roll-up doors to create kind of an open study environment, amazing. So I think that would have been exciting if I would have had something like that. Orangeview was still great back then, too. September 23rd, we were also at Dale Junior High for a second time because it was the grand opening of it. And wasn't just a facelift. If any of you guests have been over there, it was like a whole body lift. It's amazing what they did to that campus. November 17th, we were at Magnolia High School, so we could take a look at some of the projects that were under construction. Those would have been the shower and locker room project, and then the improvement project, which was near completion. It was the quad, and all that they've done. Many of the high schools and junior highs are getting completely new quads, which is just, it's crazy cool what they're doing out there in the lunch area, coverings and that with Wi-Fi. 21st century, I think we call it, right? Very good. And then February 16th of 2022, we were actually over at Western High School in the iLab, where we had a presentation and a review of the draft for the financial and performance audits of the year, and that was done with E.D. Bailey, the district audit firm. And then we received another presentation from LPA for the district's facility master plan that's been put together. And have you guys seen that as well? Pretty impressive. Very excited about hopefully getting another bond measure passed and continuing on. Okay. Based on our review of the draft financial and performance audit report date June 30th, 2021, project updates and site visits, we are confident the Anaheim Union High School District is expending the bond proceeds only for the purposes set forth in Measure H bond program and not for any other purposes, which that was because of past situations. Very exciting to be a part of that and making sure that that gets taken care of. We are satisfied with the efforts being made to complete all projects as planned and in a cost-effective manner. And we'll continue to diligently monitor those efforts. Give you an idea of some of the committee members of the Citizens Oversight Committee. We have Blanca Haurigi, Grant Rowan, Peggy Cruz Dodgehill, Patricia Rich, Robert Nelson, and then myself. We're still actually looking to bring on new committee members, so we kind of continually actively try to get some new members just to have more oversight and more input. It's been pretty good so far. Okay. Let me give you, although you may be familiar with this, I'll kind of recap it quickly. The duties of the Oversight Committee. One is we review, revise, and approval of the committee's bylaws. We review the review of the current projects in the facilities master plan, including updates. We visit the different construction sites. We attend regular meetings as a committee, group-wise. And then we review, the review of the various reports and information include annual performance and financial audits, quarterly expenditure reports, construction project updates, planning status of future construction projects utilizing the Measure H bond funds, and then various staff reports, which I always appreciate that to see what's going on with the district. We review the bond series issuance details, which I'll be talking about those here shortly. And then we review the review of efforts of the district's maximized bond revenues by assessing state matching funds and implementing cost savings measures. And I'll be talking a little bit about that as far as the matching funds here in a bit, which is very exciting from a citizen standpoint to see what's being done there. And then making sure the adherence to the Brown Act requirements of publicized and open meetings. Okay. Now, just to recap real quick, kind of explain a little bit about Measure H plan. It was a bond of $249 million approved by the voters actually in November of 2014. So, I mean, it's it's been going on for a while, and the monies, as a citizen, very impressed with how the monies have been utilized and spread out for so many different accomplished projects, and more to come still. Okay, a little bit of information about the bond itself. Issuing bonds too soon, the funds are needed cause a higher, I mean, if you do it too soon, you're going to end up paying more interest, because as soon as the bond or the issuance is made, the clock now starts on the interest. And I'm sure you guys know that. So that's important to have a good feel for when to and when not to make those issuance happen. Issuing bonds over time prevents taxpayers of having to pay more interest cost than necessary. Going to the bond market at limited times saves administrative costs involved with the bond sales as well. With issuing tax-exempt bonds, the district must comply with the federal requirements planned to spend the bond funds within 3 years of issuance. So that's kind of important too, very important. So kind of just summarizing, given all the facts regarding the time and the amounts of the bond, the district found that issuing the bond in 3 series would, number one, satisfy the federal requirements of 3 years, gave the opportunity to refine the plan based on the rollout of the facilities projects each for that year, and then also reduced the interest cost to the taxpayers. And if most of you are probably familiar with this, but the first issuance was actually in 2015, and it was for $63,455,000. The second issuance was in 2018, and that was for $83 million. And then the third was in 2019, and that was for $102,545,000. So that's the total of the 249. Okay, so real quick recapping, the 2015 for the 455, with all the interest paid and things that would be added into that, other local revenues, that was actually for $64,422,694.66. And that has been spent. Then the 2018, same kind of a thing as far as added costs and all. It was $86,389,535.87. And that's been utilized as well, completely. Now the nice thing, the 2019 bond is what we're working on and working with right now. We've utilized to date, well, to January 31st, $23,265,494.51. The rest will be spent on projects that are currently under construction and new ones that will be coming up this year. So, real quick talking just a little bit about the state funds that have helped augment, and this is, like I say, as a resident or as a consumer in the local area and a taxpayer, this is exciting for me to see that they've already tapped into $62,132,000 worth of state matching type fund. We haven't received, or you guys haven't received the full amount, but you're in line for all of that. To this point, you guys have received $23 million, with another $38 million. We're just getting in line for that to come. So that's in addition to the Measure H money on projects that are going to be put together for the district. Okay, how are we doing on time there, Patty? I'm over already? Okay. Sorry about that. Maybe I should pay, right? Okay. Okay, real quick, just this past year, let me go through the accomplishments or where we're at. So Dale Junior High is completed within budget. There's still some punch list items that are being gone through, and it's trending a little bit behind schedule, but that's because of the punch list stuff, okay? So if you can review some of the different modernizations, pretty impressive. I mean, amazingly impressive for me, anyway, to be a part of this and see what's been accomplished there. And actually, Grant Rowan, that's his alma mater, so he's been just blown away by what it's like now compared to when he was there. Okay, then on to Ball Junior High. Same kind of thing. It's completed. It's within budget. And you can see the figures there as far as hard and soft costs. Hard costs being the labor and soft costs being administrative type stuff. They're still completing the punch list there as well. We'll be visiting that site here shortly. In fact, I think this next meeting we're going to be over there, and I'm excited about that because I've seen it from the outside driving by, but I haven't been inside, so it's going to be very exciting to see that. But some of the stuff they're doing, project includes replacement of the existing utility infrastructure, new learning courtyards, lunch shelters, perimeter security fencing, landscaping, parking lot update and modernization, renovation, and then also modernizing the major modernization, actually, of the administration building. So that's Ball. Flip through there. A lot of good stuff going on. Then Magnolia, the first phase completed, the amphitheater, tennis courts, covering for the speed lines, and the improvements of the quad area within budget. And I guess there's a few delays, but due to supply chain issues, as I'm sure we've all kind of heard about those in the recent past and continuing. See some of the lunch shelters there in the next picture, and the quad. Then on to Western. This project is completed as well, within budget. And basically we're looking at the iLab, which stands for Incubator Lab. And no, they're not incubating chicks, chickens or whatever. It's actually incubating students' ideas from the inception all the way through the completion of that idea. And we've actually met twice there, and the technological advancements they've done, it's amazing. We actually, in fact, that's where LP did their presentation, and they were back in their facilities, so it was very nice. So the Incubator Lab, you can see a few more pictures there. Okay, then on to Sycamore. This project is still under construction. It's about 90% complete. They're completing and working on the student entry, as far as the entry courtyard, some of the landscaping. They're working on the punch list already with a lot of the different project pieces. We're going to be, again, visiting that project shortly as well. I'm looking forward to that because I've not been over there. The project includes replacement of existing utilities, infrastructure, new learning center courtyards, lunch shelters, perimeter fencing, landscaping, parking lots, so very much like what is being accomplished at Ball. Oh, and also if there's any Sycamore alumni here, they're redoing the Bucky Cove quad. Okay, then moving forward on to Magnolia, because of phase 2, the different projects that are going to be happening over there and are within budget are basically there again, the completion of the lockers and the shower rooms. And we visited that. It was pretty amazing the amount of work that's been done and is being done. Okay, so kind of finish off the projects here. Some of the upcoming ones will be Magnolia, and the new construction of the cyber security building and modernization of the band building project out kind of towards the front of the school. Western is going to be getting that brand new practice field just north of their parking lot. And then the Western site improvement project overall. Orangeview Junior High is going to have some improvements there, I believe. Is that security fencing and stuff, or? Yeah. So very similar to what Western got or received as far as parking lot and all. And then also Gilbert High School site improvement. You're excited about that. This is good.
I'll clap for you.
As an advocate.
Okay, anyway, you can, you have your package there, so you can kind of look through some of the pictures of the cybersecurity building over at Magnolia. We don't need to really go through that. But there is truly the need to really accomplish the things that need to be done on the campuses. We really need another bond. I mean, it's so impressive to me to see what's been accomplished as a citizen, as a taxpayer. And if we can get the word out, and we've actually got together with Superintendent Matsuda, went through some brainstorming on getting that information out to the citizens and the taxpayers to see what's been accomplished, it'll blow their minds. There's no doubt in my mind at all. So we're going through some ideas, and we'll be doing that here hopefully in the next few months. Okay, so let me wrap it up with the final wording. This is the official part that I have to go through. Okay, it's just a paragraph. Okay, based on the list of activities, the Citizens Oversight Committee advises the public that the Anaheim Union High School District is in compliance with Educational Code Section 15,100, 15,264, the Government Code Section 53,506, and Articles 13A, Section 1B3 of the California Constitution. Bond proceeds have been expended on projects set forth in the ballot measure. No bond proceeds have been used for teachers or administrative salaries or other school operating expenditures. Audits have been performed as per the bylaws. Let's see, meeting, oh, and this is important too for citizens in that. Meeting minutes, project reports, bylaws, audits, additional information can be found at the district's website, and it has it listed there. It's AUHSDblueprints.us, and you look for Citizens Oversight Committee. So very impressed with what's been accomplished, and very willing to continue being a part of it and donating my time, because that was what it was about from the beginning.
Well, on behalf of the board, I want to thank you for your service and the entire committee. So please express our gratitude and to the entire committee. Thank you very much.
I will do that. You're welcome.
And I hope that you guys all will be ambassadors going out there and talking about this, because at the end of the day, our community needs to know the wonderful job that our team has done in order to not only come under budget, but deliver beautiful projects for our community. So we need to talk about that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
very much so. It's impressive.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Alan.
Thank you. Al?
All right. Yes.
Patty,
Yes.
please. We need to acknowledge what a superior quality person you are. What you do and commit yourself to is remarkable. Thank you. Oh, stop.
And we have a great team. I hope you know that. It's
Well,
it's not just Patty Neal.
obvious.
It's my team. It's all the departments in the business division, and also just the collaboration with the schools as we approach every project. It's amazing.
We are blessed to have you.
Thank you.
Amen. Thank you.
All right, we're now moving into public comments. I have 2 public comments. I'm going to read this out so everybody knows. Opportunities for public comments occur at the beginning of each agenda item and at this time for items not on the agenda. Persons wishing to address the Board of Trustees should complete a speaker request form available on the information table at the back of the room and submit it to the executive assistant prior to the meeting. Each speaker is limited to a maximum of 5 minutes. Each topic or item limited to a total of 20 minutes. Board members cannot immediately respond to public comments as stated on the speaker request form. And our first speaker is Christopher R. Garnier.
Thank you so much. I am Christopher R. Garnier, candidate for Orange County Board of Education Trustee Area 2, and Cypress High School is in that area. Sorry for everyone else that's not going to have a chance to vote for me. I would like to speak momentarily to the clerk. I'd like the clerk to please add to the next board meeting agenda the Cypress High School parking improvements to honor the work done by the 4 students that came here and presented today. I want to make sure that they're on the agenda so that that item will be addressed by the board in a regular meeting. And you know, the next thing I want to talk about, something that's on everybody's mind, diversity, inclusion, and equity. It's all the rage in the corporate world now, and it's spreading across school districts in the United States. These expensive consultants are going around telling people about these issues, spreading the word, selling their training sessions. Well, these consultants don't come for free, and we've seen on the national scene that many of these organizations providing the training, they're actually run by the children of politicians. And they're using this to line their pockets. Their training sessions purport to teach positive ideals to help students and employees to improve communication and help improve our communities. Well, it turns out that their diversity, inclusion, and equity bars participation to students that live in the area but homeschool. Their diversity is divisive by naming some groups as saints and other groups as sinners. Their inclusion stops when it comes to participation of students that miss 1 or more vaccines on the state schedule of vaccinations. And their idea of equity, it's only for students to have an equal amount of ignorance of finance and history. Celebrating Group A may be really nice for that group, but it's only in the moment. And then, like a sports celebration, the Dodgers winning the World Series last year, it's gone, and effectively nothing has happened. We want everyone to join in society and contribute as individuals. Avoiding tribalism is a better way to have a civil society. Their grouping of people is arbitrary, especially if the group you're in, can't change. You can't switch groups. Each student and their families, they're taxed to pay for the schools here and these consultants. We need to include all in society in order to build society. I am Christopher R. Garnier, candidate for Orange County Board of Education, Trustee Area 2, and I ask for your vote. Thank you.
All right, our next speaker is Maza.
Thank you for the landscaping at the schools. It's very important to our indigenous Mexican, Chicano, Native American community in Anaheim. Good work, guys. I want to speak about the name colonist, and it's a bill called Assembly Bill Number 30, Chapter 767, an act of Article 3.5, commencing with Section 221.2 to Chapter 2 of Part 1, Division 1 of Title 1 of the Education Code relating to schools. Approved by Governor October 11, 2015, filed the Secretary of State October 11, 2015. Legislative Council's Digest AB 30 Alejo, School of the Athletic Team Names, California Racial Mascot Act. Existing law provides that it is the policy of this state to afford all persons in public schools equal rights, opportunities, and the educational institutions of the state, as specific and further prohibits and provides remedies for acts and that are contrary to that policy. This bill will establish the California Racial Mascot Act, which would prohibit public schools from using the term Redskins or colonists as school or athletes team names, mascots, or nicknames beginning January 1st of 2017. Subject to specific expectations, the bill would also provide that this prohibition may not be waived by the State Board of Education, to the extent that its provision would impose additional duties on public schools. The bill would impose the state mandate local programs. The California Constitution requires the state of reimburse local agencies and school districts to certain cost mandate by the state. Statutory provision establishes procedures for making that a reimbursement. The bill would provide that if the commission and state mandates determines that the bill contains costs mandated by the state, reimbursements to the cost shall be made pursuant to the statutory provisions. Digest key. Vote. Majority. Appropriation. No fiscal committee, yet local program, yes. Bill text. Here we go. The people of the state of California do enact as follows. Section 1. Number 1, Article 3.5 connecting with Section 221.2 is added to Chapter 2 of Part 1 of Division 1, Title 1 of Education Code to read. Article 3.5, the California Racial Mascot Act. 221.2 point, the legislator finds that declares all the following. A, the use of racial derogatory or discriminatory schools or athletic team names, mascots, or nicknames in California, public schools, and to the California school missions of providing an equal education to all. B, certain athletic team names, mascots, or nicknames that have been used by, remain in use by other teams, including school teams in other parts of the nation, are discriminatory or singling out the Native American community for their derision to which mascots and nicknames are often subject. C, many individuals or organizations interested in experience in human relations, including the United States Commission of Civil Rights, have concluded that the use of Native American images and names or schools, sports, a barrier of equality of understanding to all residents of the United States would benefit from discontinuance of their use. D, no individual or school has interest in retaining racially derogatory, discriminatory schools or athletic team names, mascots, or nicknames, for example, the Anaheim High School Colonists, in all the schools in Anaheim. 221.3A, beginning January 1st, 2017, all public schools are prohibited from using the term Redskins or, for example, colonists, school or athletic team names, mascots, or nicknames. B, this is just an example. Notwithstanding the section, the public school may continue to use uniforms or other materials bearing the term Redskins or colonist schools or athletic team names, mascots, or nicknames that were purchased before January 1st, 2017. All the following requirements are met. Number 1, the school selects a new school or athletic team name, mascots, or nickname. 2, A, expect that provided subparagraph B, the school refrains from purchasing or acquiring for the purpose of distribution of sale or pupils of school employees any uniform that includes embarrass the term, quote, Redskins or colonists, or it's an example. B, notwithstanding subparagraph A, prior to January 1st of 2019, a school using uniforms that bear the Redskins or colonists may purchase or acquire a number of uniforms equal up to 20% of the total number of uniforms used by the team banned at school during the 2016-2017 school year for the purpose of replacing damaged or lost uniforms. Keep in mind, this is an example, okay? The school refrains from purchasing, acquiring for the purpose distribution of sale pupils of school employees any yearbook, newspaper, program, or any similar material that included, bears, and prohibited school athletic team name, mascot, nickname, and a logo or cover title. And last, the school refrains from purchasing the constructing of marquee, sign, a new or replacement fixture that includes or bears prohibits the school or athletic team name, mascots, nickname. This paragraph applies to facilities that are bred to prohibit.
Mazer, wrap it up, please.
I apologize. Thank you so much, and keep up the great work. And I know with time we'll change the name of the colonists. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for your work.
Thank you, Mazer. Appreciate it. All right, that's all the public comments we have. Now we go to items of business. Starting off with resolutions. 11.1, resolution number 2021/2022-B-19, School Lunch Hero Day. It's a roll call vote.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Ms. Piercy.
Aye.
Ms. Randall Trejo.
Aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye.
Mr. O'Neill.
Aye.
And I vote aye. I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge all our folks who work, our AFSCME members who actually work. I know that during COVID, they were out there in front, and so true heroes who actually did a lot of good work. So thank you to all of them. Thank you. 11.2, resolution number 2021-2022-B-20, request for proposals, full service human resources software solution. This is also a roll call vote.
So moved.
Second.
And Ms. Randall Trejo, Ms. Piercy.
Aye.
Ms. Randall Trejo.
I vote aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye.
Mr. O'Neill.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion passes unanimously. 11.3, resolution number 2021/2022-B-21, temporary interfund transfer. It's an action item.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. 11.4 was pulled, beginning of the agenda. 11.5, resolution number 2021/2022-BOT-03, suspending civic service learning hours requirement for graduating class of 2022.
So moved.
Second.
This is a roll call vote. Ms. Piercy.
I vote aye.
Ms. Randall Trejo.
Aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye.
Mr. O'Neill.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion passes unanimously. 11.6, resolution number 2021/2022-HR-06, Day of the Teacher. Roll call vote.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion on the floor and a second. Ms. Piercy.
Aye, and here's to our teachers.
Yes. Ms. Randall Trejo.
I ditto, aye.
Ms. Smith.
Strong aye.
Mr. O'Neill.
Absolutely aye.
And I will aye all of those ayes, and
Dr.
motion
Tees.
passes unanimously. Thank you to all our teachers. 11.7, resolution number 2021/2022-HR-07, National School Nurse Day.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote. Ms. Piercy.
I vote aye, and I want to say we are really needing our nurses nowadays, so they are working extra hard.
Yep. Ms. Randall Trejo.
And I vote aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye.
Mr. O'Neill.
I have a
And
daughter-in-law that is a school nurse, so I say aye.
There you go. And I vote aye. Motion passes unanimously. Move on to business services. 11.8, agreement, cooperative strategies, action item.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
I had a question
Oh,
on this
sorry.
one.
Go ahead.
That's okay. I would have voted aye anyway. I was just concerned, Nancy, how much do we actually bring in with our? Just a ballpark? Is it quarter mil?
It's more than that. Yeah, it's
More
quite a
than
bit.
that,
So,
okay.
yeah, so
For some reason, I was only thinking it was about a quarter mil.
it's a little more. Yeah, and I can get the figures for the Friday update.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So
And
it's
the
more than that.
Yes, and we also collected for the other school district, but the developer fee study is only for our district. They do this update every 2 years, and we did some calculations. So whatever we spend on this fee, it will justify, the increase. And if it's not justified, then they'll tell us we're not able to change the fees.
Okay. I was just, I was going to vote yes because I trust you, but I just really wanted to hear the explanation.
Yes, and so it's always recommended that when the state increase the rate that we follow, but they also, the reason why you have a justification study is if they will look at your enrollment, they will look at different factors to see if we are actually justified to change the rates. If we're not, the report will tell us that we're not allowed to increase the rates.
Because sometimes we haven't raised rates. so.
Yes, and there are going to be times that it could happen in the future that the report will come back and said that based on certain factors, we are not allowed to increase the rate, and then we will not be able to increase the rate at that time as well.
Okay,
Mhm.
thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Trejo, and thank you, Nancy. Educational Services, 11.9. This is an information and action item, revised board policy 71106.01, graduation requirements, Gilbert High School, second reading.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any questions?
No, but this is an action item, right?
Yes.
Yeah, this time being second reading, okay.
All right, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. All right, 11.10, revised policy, multiple policies, second reading, information and action item.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Okay, 11.11, Career Technical Education Advisory Membership. It's an information item. Any questions or suggestions? I have one on Exhibit 9. I saw the parent representative was obviously a district parent, right? I'd like to see it opened up to a parent who's not part of the district administration. So let's make sure that we do some outreach and get a parent, and no, it's not to put down anybody who's already been nominated, but it's just that as a policy, I'd like to see if we have parent opportunities, that they're not part of the administrative folks, but they're, sorry about that. They're actually from actual parents who are not part of the administration. So if that could be done, I would really appreciate it. Thank you.
Good catch.
All right, 11.12, Memorandum of Understanding, Cyber Forward, action item.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. 11.13, Order Form Edmonton, action item.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. 11.14, Educational Consulting Agreement, Anaheim High School Dance Program,
So
action
moved.
item.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. 11.15, Educational Consulting Agreement, BCT Entertainment, Inc., action item.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. 11.1, Educational Consulting Agreement, Youth Engage, LLC, action item.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion passes unanimously. 11.17, Education Consulting Agreement, New Pedagogies for Deep Learning, action item.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion of second. Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Move on to Human Resources, 11.18, Public Hearing Disclosure Collective Bargaining Agreement with APGA. This is an information item as well as a public hearing, an open public hearing. Anybody who would wish to speak? Seeing none, close public hearing. Move on to 11.19, Adoption of 2021-2022 Collective Bargaining Agreement with APGA, action item.
Moved.
We have a motion and a second. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second?
Oh, second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. 11.12, Public Hearing, Disclosure of Collective Bargaining Agreement with MMA, information item. Open public hearing. Anybody want to speak? Seeing none, close public hearing. Move on to 11.21, Adoption of 2021-2022 Collective Bargaining Agreement with MMA, action
So
item.
moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Next is Superintendent's Office. That item was pulled. 11.22 was pulled.
Mr. President, were we waiting for two students to show up?
I don't think anybody showed up.
They didn't show up?
They
Okay.
didn't show up.
They didn't show up, right?
Make sure.
It's not them?
I'm sure
Okay.
Abdullah would have said something.
All right, thank you.
All right. 11.23, compensation for assistant superintendents, chief academic officer, and district council. It's
So
an action
moved.
item.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. And we move to consent calendar, and I was told to pull 12.25 and move it to maybe a future board meeting. So hopefully all board members agree with that?
Yep.
All right. Perfect. So we have pulled 12.25 for the record. All right. Consent calendar.
Yep, pull 12.7DD and 12.8.
Okay, anybody else?
Move the balance.
None? Thank
Second.
you. I have a motion for the balance, and I have a second. Any questions or, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. And for the record, that's without 12.25. And now, can I get a motion for the rest?
12.7DD and 12.8. So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions?
Aye.
All right, so we got a 401. All right. Go to 13, superintendent and staff report. You got to get on the roll.
He has to say something. He has to say something.
All right, got it, okay. Got it.
I don't have any report tonight, thank
No
you.
report, okay. All right, no report. All right, so we'll go to our board of trustee reports. I'll start with Ms. Piercy.
Okay. Abdullah, do you need to leave? You sure?
We have time.
Okay. Okay, I did a few things this month. First thing I did since the last board meeting was I went to the facilities forum that was held on the west side of the district. I wanted to go to the east side, but something else came up. But it was very interesting to see the ideas put forth by the architectural firm. And a lot of sticky notes were added to the plans that they presented. They presented the school map that's present day and a futuristic one, and everyone had the opportunity to make suggestions. Then I was able to attend the Chromebook distribution here at the district office. Frontier Communications have donated 518, is that right? Something like that, Chromebooks?
418, I think.
I was right, 408, no.
You said
that was
500.
You said 500.
It was 4?
Yeah, 400.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, whatever, I thought it was 5. Anyway.
Anyhow, a lot of
A lot of them, right. And the students applied and they were selected. And what I really thought was really neat, the student had to come with the parent because the book was given to the parent. And the parent had to take a class to make sure they understood how to use it and how the kids should be using it. And that will follow the kid, because it was junior high school kids. It'll follow them through high school, so they've got a Chromebook at home. And then I was part of the ambassador interviews, which we did over 2 days. I love these. The students that come, they are so polished, so well presenting themselves. It's so much fun. I mean, we have some outstanding students, and believe me, they shine. And this year's ambassadors, we did it earlier this year, so this year's ambassadors can next year's ambassadors can shadow this year's to get an idea of what's going on before they're thrown in. And I think that is a phenomenal idea.
Good idea.
So, and of course, our ambassadors are always at everything. They were at the Color and Light, the show that was this Tuesday, which was outstanding again. I loved it. All the artwork, and it's like I want to say to every time in a class or anything about art, it's to be seen, and so it needs to be out there. And every one of those students that had artwork in that show was a winner, as far as I was concerned. I also and attended the insurance committee meeting. And then I went to the Willy Wonka play at Loera High School because they came and presented us with a golden ticket. So I had to use the golden ticket. And I wanted to have more and take my grandkids, but they were busy with soccer and softball. So, but I did go, and I was very impressed at what our teacher at Loera did. She's a first-year teacher in drama. Did a great job. I mean, those, you know, it really was well done. And she put a lot of effort into it. So then I attended a Sister City meeting at Anaheim, and we had to, it was very different. We haven't had our meetings at City Hall lately. We've been having them at the community center. And I was not aware of what you had to go through just to get into the City Hall again, because we used to just zip up to 7th floor to the mayor's office and go in his conference room and have our meetings. Well, it doesn't work that way anymore. You got to check everything. You got to go through 2 guys checking you, 2 security officers. It's a sad commentary on our time. That's all I can say. Oh. Then I attended the 4th District PTA's administrative awards at Old World Beer House, right? Okay. That was very nice, very well done. Now, I have to say this. They encouraged you to come in costume for 1980s was the theme. And they said, get your neon out. Okay, so I looked in my closet for the brightest things I could find. And I mean, come on, everybody there was within black and blues, and I had lime green pants, bright yellow, multicolored satin sequins on
Just
my
had an
jacket.
early April Fool's joke on you.
No. No. I abided by the suggestion to be in the...
You're a good sport.
Hey, it's my art background.
And you'll be remembered too,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
She
Yeah, but
represented.
the other gals were wearing little fluorescent tutus, different color neon, and they're black with the black and then that. And then one gal sported some bright neon pink hair. So there were a few people that dressed, but I have the color, so, and I also displayed color at the Color and Light Art Show because I had a bright blue suit. So there was color there too. I like color. Okay. And then I attended the career speaker at Cypress High School, who was Dr. Kung, I can't remember her name, but anyway, she was a previous Lexington and Cypress High School student who went on to become a doctor of infectious diseases. Plus she became an entrepreneur, and she started a cosmetics company as well, and a health athletic company too. So she's very, very involved. And it was nice. Her father attended, and her father was a doctor in the community, and he came for half of her speech. And so the kids really received it well. And I think it's a great idea because they're bringing in people from different avenues of life and careers. And they're they're people who attended Cypress High School or any of our schools. I think it's a great idea, and it's another opportunity to give these kids an idea of what they can do. So I enjoyed that. And then, of course, I already said I attended Color and Light. So that was it. That was a very busy month, and we've got more coming up. But what do we have? Oh, tomorrow I'm going to attend the Hope Soccer Tournament.
Yeah.
So,
Hope, yes. Hope Cup. Hope Cup.
Hope Cup. Okay.
All right.
I hope it's not as hot as it was today.
It will be hot or hotter.
Unfortunately.
So yeah, I'm gonna attend too, and I talked to Louie at the Color and Light. They said they're gonna have misters there.
Are
so
they?
I'll just stand underneath the misters while I'm there. I'm looking forward to that tomorrow. And so I attended the GASELPA meeting and the No Crop meeting. And of course, the Color and Light was an amazing, it was surreal being in the convention center again. Brian Belsky said 3 years?
Yeah.
Wow, that blew my mind. But again, the students, pieces were just phenomenal. And I just love that we were able to do that this year. And what I really loved about it was the big screen. So when the students came up to get their certificate, you could see their art project.
That is such a nice addition.
Yeah, that was really, really great. to see their artwork in real time getting the awards, and the students, I think, loved it too. Even though it was virtual, I did it. I was listening to the Catella talks intently, and again, just a phenomenal program, and our kids are just amazing, the types of subjects that they bring up.
I tried that, but I couldn't get it. It wouldn't work for me.
I know, we clicked on it and I didn't get it through either. I only got the last bit of their announcement stuff.
Yeah, I'm just saying, because I'm going to call them and say, what did I do wrong? I want to hear them. I want to see them. So
I think it's going to be up, right?
Yeah, it's up,
and,
yeah.
up and
It's
running,
already
so
up.
you can hear it. It's already up? Okay. Yeah, just phenomenal. Congratulations to all of our students and the teachers who, guide them through that work. They're phenomenal. And as a CSBA delegate, we did our legislative action week, and so there were some, all of our districts in Orange County are different, but in California, and but they came up to, let's see, it's about 3 or 4 things that we all have in common that we could talk to our legislators about. So we had meetings with Senator Umberg, Newman, Sharon Quirk Silva, and Daley, and
That's for you.
Daley was not there, so his aide was there and listened intently. And so increasing the base local control funding formula and all of the reasons we need that. Looking at the school employer pension relief is something that we're all looking at, of course, in California. And COVID ADA relief, looking at the formula for 2019 ADA instead of, looking at those formulas so that we can calculate the ADA where we were whole, and not whole, but we were where students were here. So, because looking at the ADA for this year and last year wouldn't work. And then home to school transportation, some of these school districts in, the top part of California, busing, it would bankrupt their districts. So, and then of course, some of the CSBA-sponsored legislation on elections, where it's very interesting. Some of our board members are getting recalled with less than 10 signatures, which doesn't make any sense. And so we advocated for that. And so that's what I did. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Randall-Trejo. Ms. Smith.
Okay. In our agenda, we have field trips listed, and there is one for Oxford Academy Instrumental Band this time next year. Guess where? Carnegie Hall and Central Park. And they'll be gone about 6 days. The work of putting that together by that teacher, that band it just blew me away. What a wonderful, wonderful story we'll hear in the future. I attended the discipline and the insurance committees. And CVA, I'm trying to think, C stands for? Cambridge. Thank you so much, had a closed drive. And it was quite a remarkable experience. I went with my daughter-in-law, and it was unbelievably positive, the amount of collection of clothes that they were able to take in, and the kids were all involved, and it was a wonderful way to get these kids off their computers and involved in the community, and it was heartwarming. And then I wanted to share something. CBS, the other night, on their news show, showed Ukraine children that are now in Poland. And they had these children, they're all in grade school, different ages. doing art. And their art is showing their emotions of what they're going through. And don't even know if they'll ever go back, have their homes, their schools, their parents, their animals. And each picture showed a different youth, what they were going through. And I think today that so many troubles and pain we've all been through and difficulties and the job of running a school district and attending to our youth and our families, we're so blessed in so many ways, because just to see those art pictures were just, it tugged at my heart. And I just wanted to share one last thing. We were up here having pictures taken with the Kindness Awardees. And at the end, there were a half dozen people standing in the middle, kind of reaching over each other with their telephones, photographing. And the thing that went through my mind, and this will shock you, Abdullah, but the thing that went through my mind as I viewed those people with their cameras, all of a moment at that time, I was a child, a youth in my hometown, in a small town north of San Francisco called Martinez. And I would pick up the phone to make a phone call, and a lady would say, "Number, please." And I'd call my father's office, and I'd say 6743. And how time goes. Yeah. And you don't realize it until something like this happens tonight. And the other thing is, I could pick up the phone, and guess what? It's a party line, and people are having conversations, and you could actually listen in on conversations. Yeah. So I share with you only because this has been such a remarkable experience for me to have been in this position with this group of people. But I want to thank everyone from the bottom of my heart, and for Mike Matsuda, for the group of people that he has put together, caring, responsible, ethical, moral, high standards. And that's what makes a community, a man giving a report. He committed time and thought and energy to give us that report about what we need to do for this school district. And that's what stabilizes communities. When a family moves to a new location, one of the first things they want to know about, what kind of schools are in that community? Do I want to move there? So resoundedly, I just say thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. Mr. O'Neill?
Mrs. Smith, you were showing our age about that party line.
Party line.
Yes, although you could get a private line.
Yes.
But I can't remember the code when you got with the operator, you had to say something. I forget what it was. And yeah, those are a long time ago. Mrs. Smith, Ms. Piercy, you forgot that you attended a Sister City Commission meeting?
No, I said.
Did you say that? I don't know where was I? Boy, that is, see, I told you about age. Yeah, there you go. Anyhow, I attended it with Mrs. Piercy. Also, the Chromebook handout. That was interesting, seeing the students come up and get their Chromebooks. So I have to thank Senator Umberg for helping out in that respect. So that was fantastic. I attended some of the orchestra performances at the Kennedy PAC, and they do such a great job. I couldn't stay for all of it. I stayed for some, and those teachers are wonderful. But you didn't say anything about the grand opening of the Lexington Park.
Oh,
I got you on that one. I know you did.
Yeah.
See, that's your age. So it was a wonderful park.
Boy, the barbs are just flying around here.
I know, it's early in the evening too. But that park is huge, with two huge, what do they call them, competition fields? Yeah, one is natural grass and one is AstroTurf, so beautiful. Hopefully that we can work out some programs with them and be able to use their fields and relax some of their time on our fields so they don't, so they look better. I attended some of the choir festival at Kennedy Pack and the sister city, the Cypress City virtual meeting.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that.
No, you did. But I just thought you had forgot the sister city. I forgot that one. Oh, that's right. You talking about all the security you went through. See, I was only partially asleep. Mike and staff did a great job in presenting virtually to the Cypress City meeting. And I, unfortunately, was not able to get to the color and light exhibition. It killed me not going there because I love going there, but I just had an emergency that I had to take care of. But I texted the president here just to let him know that I wasn't asleep. And then I tried to attend. There was a drumline showcase at Cypress High School that was on the agenda for last night, but it wasn't there. So I don't know what happened. Did you ever hear anything about that? It was on our calendar of events, but nobody was there. So anyhow, I tried to attend, so be it. That's all I got.
All right. Thank you, Mr. O'Neill. I'll start off with, I just went last Tuesday to Kennedy High School. We had some students who actually wrote civic engagement letters regarding different issues. So I attended 2 classrooms at Ms. Meyer's English class. And I already gave a list to Mr. Freed to work on. Some of our students were really concerned about mental health. And they also had some good suggestions about different items. So those are all discussed, and rest assured feedback is received. So we'll go ahead and work on those. I did attend the Color Lights show. It was a great show. Great to be back again in person. I also met with our social workers. I want to talk to them about some grant opportunities that might be available for through the county, and wanted them to, not that I was giving more work to them, but I just asked them to volunteer themselves to do some good work and maybe possibly write some good proposals for innovative grants. I also accompanied and visited the Once on This Island show put on by our APAC Anaheim theater dance production. They did a fantastic show. Sharon King, Oscar Gonzalez, but I wanted to take the opportunity. I don't know if you could.
We're going to bring Marisol and her team to be recognized at a board meeting from the River Arena.
From the River Arena, yeah, because they actually, River Arena allowed to use their church because we don't have our facility at Anaheim. And it's a beautiful facility, and the backdrops are all computerized, so it was a great location to have it. So at the event, during halftime, I had accompanied also my boss, Orange County Supervisor Doug Chafee, who through his office, we were able to give close to $155,000 to 8 different booster clubs. So each of the booster clubs got a little under $20,000. So Anaheim High School had band boosters got a little under $20,000, and the APAC group got a little under $20,000. So they were very appreciative of that. So I think they're on line to get recognized. Supervisors online to get recognized at the next board meeting, I believe. So, but we wanted to take a picture, and he had a big check presentation. And it was nice for community members to know that work. I also attended the North Orange County ROP meeting, the budget meeting, and then also the facilities forum we had on our side of the town with Anaheim. And again, a lot of folks wanted to put up a lot of suggestions as to how to change things. And I think that's a good process, because I think, Anaheim High School, they were talking about how to relocate certain things because it was not possible to move. I think even at Savannah, they were talking about the band a room being in one end of the building and the, facility being on another end of the building. So it's a good opportunity to get folks who are on the ground and parents to give suggestions. So that was great. I also attended Access California. It's one of our nonprofits that we do a business with. They do a lot of social work related activities, but they just got approved through City of Anaheim to put to a beautiful facility that they're going to build right behind Glover Stadium. They're going to have great opportunities for AUHSD to partner with. They're planning on doing different programming. They're also going to have a facility.
The parking lot there?
Yeah, well, you remember where the UCI facility was before?
Yeah.
That's where they're going to get the building, yeah. So that's the building plus the parking lot. So it's a great partnership opportunity right there for AUHSD, especially Anaheim High School because it's close by. And then I also attended, obviously, Senator Tom Umberg. I wanted to thank him again publicly for his office working with me to put together the Chromebook giveaway. On our side, I want to thank Eric Greenwood and his team. I think they not only did a fantastic job, we've been working on it since last October, and we tried to put together the entire, not only picking the students, but then they had to go through logistics to figure out how to do it, so I want to thank the team. That's it for me. Next is advanced planning. Future meeting dates, our next meeting, Board of Trustees meeting will be held on May 5th, 2022 at 6 p.m. And 15.2, suggested agenda items. Any agenda items? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Not yet in here. Yeah, I think they're still making a decision on that, right? Yeah. Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor?